Hey guys, this is Doran, CEO of Culture Matters. Today I'm standing with my better half, Julian Bradley, CEO and founder of Success for Scholars. I really want to open this conversation up with just why? Why'd you start the company?
Oh my gosh. So I'm sure you all had the realization that when you're in school, you're focusing on a lot of things that aren't you're going to use later on in your life, right?
Yeah,
so angles of triangles, history, all this other stuff, and maybe biology, whatever it might be. I mean, if you're in that field, then that's what you need to learn. But for a lot of people, they shove all these topics down your throat that really aren't going to help you get the results and create the lifestyle that you want to live, right?
Totally.
So what I started to find was I was getting super frustrated in high school, super frustrated in college, because I was thinking to myself, why am I learning this if I'm never going to apply this? And I started to look at other people, my mentors, and started to read books. And I was like, okay, why aren't they teaching some of this stuff in school? I started to learn the things I've been reading in the books, apply it. And at the time, I was in Cutco, right? So I was actually one of the top salespeople.
What's Cutco? So people don't, know.
It's a marketing company, which I was basically a sales rep. I was one of the top sales reps in the country, and I was, sitting down with a lot of parents. I had over 800 clients.
And what were they selling?
Kitchen cutlery.
So hold on, listen to that. You walked. How'd you market the business?
It wasn't really door to door, it was all referrals, relationship based.
So you didn't go to anybody's door.
I definitely did. I definitely did to people's door.
So he went to people's store with
knives,
with a steak and stuff. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah,
and you still sold.
Oh, of course.
A ton of knives.
Yeah, I did home shows.
Okay.
I did a whole bunch of other things like that. But
wow, okay.
That got me the experience of just sitting down and connecting with people, right? So after sitting down with connecting with a lot of parents, they've said, "Oh my gosh, I wish you could mentor my kid. Oh my gosh, I wish I knew what you knew at your age, or just even now.
Yeah.
I wish you can teach this stuff to my employees." Right? So I started hearing that over and over and over again, and I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm not anything special. All I'm doing is repeating and the same things that I'm learning through the books I've been reading.
Yeah, you're sharing.
I'm just sharing. I'm learning. I'm acting on it, and then I'm sharing the results.
Yeah.
And I've been sharing that with my customers, and basically what it came down to was they're like, you need to start helping
Your
out
own
mental
thing,
people.
in a way. Yeah.
So that's what it really came down to, and I felt that instead of mentoring one person by the time or coaching one person at a time, which I was doing, if I created a course that will be able to help bridge that gap between traditional education and personal development, and that's what Success for Scholars is. It really just helps bridge that gap between traditional education and personal development. Because traditional education is good, but I'm sure you would agree that there's so much more to school than just your average topic that you can touch on.
Well, I guess it comes back to, I don't know if anyone else has felt this in their life or has seen someone go through this. You're sitting in the back of math class. Somebody raises their hand, whether it's you, it was me, or someone else, and they go, "Why do we need to learn this?" And the teacher goes, "Don't worry about that. Just remember it. Just do your work." Now, based on my personal development activity and the fact that I just bought the textbooks that the colleges, provide you and read about neuroscience and the mind, people buy why they do what they do, like what Simon Sinek talks about, and start with why. So if kids learn through storytelling, through why, and then we go to school and they say, "Don't worry about why.
Just pass the exam."
Just pass the exam. How is that conditioning us to what? Learn. And that's that bridging of the gap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's also personal development where it comes to awareness, really understanding and knowing yourself. Emotional intelligence is key, right? A lot of students don't really get to understand emotional intelligence more about themselves. So what happens is they don't know how to deal with other people in a way that everybody gets along, or when people have differences, there's a lot of tension.
Yeah, can you define emotional intelligence for the viewers?
So what I view emotional intelligence is the awareness and understanding not only of yourself, but of others too as well, emotionally and also where they are mentally at that time. So, let's say someone was mad at you, right? And you weren't able to pick that up. That's like basic emotional intelligence, right?
Okay.
You should be able to see and you should be able to sense and feel people's vibes. And
every relationship that I was ever in?
Yeah, pretty much.
I gotta work on that, man.
So yeah, emotional intelligence is key and huge, because if you don't know yourself, then it's gonna be really hard to go after and achieve any of your goals, because any obstacle that's gonna come up, obviously you're just going to be on autopilot. And if you're not in control of your thoughts, then your thoughts are going to control you.
Wow.
Right? And if you don't have any control of your thoughts, then that means your actions aren't going to be in alignment with your core values. But what if you don't even know what your core values are? What if you never even thought about what your core
Culture
values
matters.
are? Yes, exactly. Culture matters.
Wow.
Values matter. You matter. And that's why, if you invest in yourself, you'll become exactly who you want to become. Not by default, but by your own creation. And I feel like if you really just double down on yourself, there's no limit to what you can do. I mean, I look at it like this. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. So make sure that you're doubling down on yourself, and that's why I created Success for Scholars, to really cut the learning curve and cut that gap. Because so many times, I feel like I was blessed. I honestly feel like I was blessed. I was in Cutco, I was making great money, and I was able to travel, go to these different conferences. I was able to spend thousands of dollars on courses, mentors, coaches. When most people are 17, 18, 19, they don't have the resources.
How do they start?
And even if they do have the resources, they're like, why should I spend $1,000 to go to a conference when I can spend $1,000 to go to a concert and go on vacation?
A cruise.
Right? I look at it like this. I was still doing both, but what enabled me to go to do both was the awareness that I've gained from going to the conference, which enabled me to increase my business, which enabled me to have both worlds. Right?
So I can share a testimonial of Julian because yesterday we were out together, weren't we? Mm-hmm. And he recommended a book to download on Audible. Now, one thing I do, whenever someone recommends me something, whether I respect them or not, I give them always the benefit of the doubt. Like Andrew Carnegie said, leaders make decisions quickly and change them slowly. Followers make them slowly and change them quickly. So I ordered the book immediately and listened to it. And this is what I learned already. Most people spend their belief system on this thought. I got to do it, and then I'll have it, and then I'll be it. But it's about rechanging your mind to be it, which is the words you speak, which changes your culture, how you think. Yeah. Do it, and you'll have it. And you're an example of be, do, have. So from my understanding of that book and what you do with Success for Scholars, is the takeaway of Success for Scholars that change the mindset, the consciousness of your customers, the people you help, to think be, do, have, and bring that bridge that gap of the logic and really consciousness, emotional intelligence.
Yeah, like so it's huge. It's basically everything that I do to invest, just like you said, the books you read and everything is to increase your awareness. From better awareness, you get better results and you make better decisions, right? So it all comes down to not being complacent with the education that you have right now. I see a lot of students coming out of college and then just being like, okay, I've done my time. I put in my hours. Yeah. I am not going to pick up a book again. Right? Yeah. I am not going to invest more money into myself because I have student loans. Yeah. That's the biggest mistake that you can make because all those things that you learned in school, most likely, all those classes that you were forced to take, you weren't really emotionally invested in how it's going to help your life, right? Yeah. Because maybe it didn't interest you at all. So just because you spent money on that book or textbook or class doesn't mean that.
How many people get a trainer? They get a trainer and then they don't get the results. So I guess it's the same thing for your mind. So.
Yeah, so when I look at it like this, just because you've put in the time so far doesn't mean that you're done. The best people in business and life are continuing to grow. And they're always reinvesting in themselves. And they're always learning. Just like you said, you give people the benefit of the doubt. Anytime I go anywhere, I always can learn anything from anyone. Yeah. No matter how old they are, no matter how young they are, I can always learn how to do something or how not to do something, right?
One of my favorite people of all time said, don't give me that, Rob. One of my favorite people of all time said, I learn something from everyone I meet. Unfortunately, usually it's what not to do.
Abraham Lincoln?
Oh.
Woo!
Now,
got him.
Now, I just want to leave with this because, and I'll let you finish the thought of what the takeaway of this. It seems as though, and just so everyone on Facebook Live can see this is not a scripted conversation. Yeah. Is it? We're just having a normal, for us, conversation. Why? Be, do, have. We are what we preach. So we don't need to want things out of what we do. We just are what we do. And that's where our goal is to get the people that we work with and the people that that impact our life and us into them to start being what they love. So there's no script. There's no contrivedness. There's no selfishness. You just are. So what do you think the biggest takeaway for Successor Scholars or what people can do to learn more about what you do?
I would say the biggest takeaway is understanding and knowing yourself and knowing that your journey is just beginning, no matter where you are in your life. So I have people in Success for Scholars who are in their 60s. I have people who are in just entering high school, or like in 8th grade, right? And people are learning a lot of things because common sense isn't also common. And most people know more about their favorite sports players or their favorite movie stars or whoever is of interest to them more than they know about themselves. If you were to switch that around and really focus more on yourself, not being more selfish, but really just understanding yourself, coming from a place of, I'm not going to watch another movie, I'm not going to watch another sports game until I know what my core values are, until I know what's going to inspire me to get up off the couch and actually take action, until I know what I'm going to stand for this year, what my goals are. I'm not going to turn on another game, I'm not going to go on Instagram, I'm not going to go on Facebook, because I need to know about myself, because that's more important. And that's what really Success for Scholars is about. It's really your self-discovery and increasing your awareness and increasing your consciousness.
I want to run right now. I want to run. I feel the energy. So how can we find you, Julian?
You go on Julian Bradley Facebook, Julian Bradley 23 on Instagram, Julian B233 on Snapchat, successforscholars.com. I'll be happy to reach out back to you if you message me on any of those platforms. I'm happy to help, and I'm here to serve.
Awesome. This is Doran, CEO of Culture Matters. Julian Bradley,
Yes.
Success for Scholars.
Yes.
And you guys have a great day.